How will you measure your life? This is not a whole lot of time to answer a very loaded question, one that I am sure changes throughout life. Being where I am in life, I'm about to bring my daughter, my beautiful daughter, into this world. My answer hasn't necessarily changed, but maybe has a little more purpose to it. How I will measure my life is on how she sees me, my success, my presence, and her childhood. All measurements that I won't get answers to until much later in her life. Professor Christensen said, but instead of telling him what to think, I taught him how to think. A big piece in what I want to teach her is motivation. I want to give her the space to find her direction without me leading to certain avenues. I feel like I would be in a very different position in my life if I had taken the original path I wanted and not experimented with other career options along the way. I want to make sure that she knows to lead with intensity and passion. You only get out what you put in. Does she know the line of persistence? Sometimes we have to try several times for what we want, but we also need to know when it is time to move on. Professor Christensen spoke about creating the right culture. This is so important. I don't want to take the easy way out and use different power tools. I want to build a home of respect and teach right from wrong. I want to make sure she has emotional intelligence, although this isn't really something that can be taught, and understand having awareness for herself and those around her. Empathy is huge in my characteristics. I also want to make sure she knows that emotions are power, and when used correctly, they are a blessing. But if we let them take control, they can be a hindrance. It's easier to hold to your principles 100% of the time than it is to hold to them 98% of the time. You've got to define for yourself what you stand for and draw the line in a safe place. It is important to understand your ethical values and the moral code you hold yourself to. I want to make sure I am always a good example of that. It is important to see the world and hear the other ways people think, good and bad. This way, you create your own understanding of virtue. It is important to be able to stop and think about how your actions affect everyone around you. Learning about metaphysics was so intriguing, and Professor Christensen's quote, "But if you have a humble eagerness to learn something from everybody, your learning opportunities will be unlimited," rang in my head. We have to have an open mind as we walk through the world. We can learn from everyone. I feel like it is also good to know that you yourself are a book of knowledge that someone else will learn from. Professor Christensen's article and this assignment have very much intrigued me. I learned so much in the ways that management can be applied to your everyday life. Getting this done in under 4 minutes was so hard for me, and I had to cut out so much. How I will measure my life is through my daughter. Thank you.